what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna go study at the library. The person just locked themselves in the bathroom again, turns on the faucet. You can hear the water running, and he stays in there for like 30 minutes. And I'm fixing to go to the library, and then they start making me piss, like I have to go urinate. So they're torturing me and with these electronic devices to prevent me from doing anything for myself. Um, while I was in class just a couple days ago, um, when I was in class, we were doing the sort of practice run on the beds where we, you know, do a peri-clean, which is cleaning the patient, and with these test dummies. And right when I got done, they sort of critique you, say what you did wrong or whatever, or where you could do better. And I started talking, and I started slurring my words. And I know it's not a stroke, it's not a brain hit, it's someone using an electronic device that's preventing me from learning and preventing me from accomplishing this class and any other classes. So I think it's important for me to make this video. They're doing everything they can. The classroom students are kind of trying to make this, some of them are starting to make this very hostile, where it's unbearable to sort of be in the class and try to learn, and bringing up a lot of topics personally about my mother, Frankie, my deceased sister, and the police department, Kenneth, and all this other stuff that's going on. But as much as I'm trying to ignore it, they're doing everything and they can to make it very aggravating and very frustrating, so that I can't attend school. So I don't want to attend school. And that's aside from all the other situations that I'm going to have to deal with, even on the job side, if I'm able to finish this class. And right now, I'm telling you, like, I can barely move my back, like barely even move forward like this, or even without it aching really bad. Like, they shoot some frequency into the nerves of the lower back spinal cord that cripples my legs, like cripples the back and legs, where you're just aching in pain, like it aches, like you have a severe back injury. And I had not lifted weights, I had not done anything that has put my body in any type of strain that would cause that. And it literally heals up, and then they'll watching me in my room, and then they'll shoot the electronic device again into my back, so that I'm in extreme, even more pain. So I'm suffering even more. I just went outside, like, to smoke a cigarette, and I came back inside, and my back even hurts. All of a sudden, it starts hurting really bad, and I'm just literally just walking, 20, 30 feet. They're shooting something into my spinal cord, preventing me from doing anything that's in any comfort to sabotage me. So like I said, in any place that I go, they're still shooting, they're playing like this very sick game. Like, I'm sitting here laying in this bed, I'll play some video games, take a look at some Instagrams before I go study, and they'll start shooting me in my bicep to start twitching. And so they correlated to sort of give this understanding. And I know it's crazy about what they're doing, like to torture me. So, like, whatever electronic device they're using, I don't know how they do it, what part of if they're shooting my brain, or is it something in the air, or what it is. I don't have nightmares, ever, hardly ever. So when I'm asleep, I'll have some sort of traumatic nightmare, and I can tell I feel strained, like mentally, like, and while I'm asleep, and I wake up and I feel like I just had some sort of traumatic nightmare, not remember really anything that I remembered that could have been a nightmare, really. And as soon as I wake up, they know that I'm strained, and then I'll be laying to try to relax, and then they'll shoot my bicep, like, bye, don't go to school, bye, we're gonna make you suffer, you're gonna die now, bye. And they play these very sick games. About, I think it was the last day of school last week, which was, I think, Thursday, and there was police officers. I think I was on my way home, I was on my way home or on my way to school, and there was two police officers in two cop cars. One that parked at a far angle at the South Transit Garland station, and another one that was parked on the other side. And one of the cops seemed to be kind of playing a joke whenever I was looking at him. Like, you could tell his expressions, like, and there was no one but like one person at the entire South Transit Center. So, like I said, I'm trying to finish school. I'm trying to better myself, and these people are severely trying to do everything to sabotage me. They do not want me to go to school. They do not want me to accomplish anything in education and a choice of career that I'm wanting to do for myself. I don't know who's placing the electronic devices inside the class. I'm not being shot by the electronic devices very often in class, but they're shooting them at me in the class, without a doubt. And there's other people trying to participate and sabotage me. Like, I was doing some sort of, practice runs on the beds, and I noticed that somebody was trying to be in my view when I was looking out the window, and was trying to sort of just make a mockery of the situation from outside the window when I was in the class. And there really isn't anybody, so they're all working as a team. All these transgenders and homosexuals, they're all working as a team to then persecute me. I really don't know what resource to go to be able to ever report this, other than just continuing to try to ignore this, because I know the police department isn't going to want to do anything, and they're going to try to claim, whatever baloney things that they're going to want to say. But they are completely sabotaging me in any kind of way, and I'm always trying to ignore it, pay attention to whatever it is, get ready for this test on Tuesday. So I got to finish my other last 2 chapters, which is probably going to take me the entire day at the library. And I need to make this video. If anybody out there knows anything, this is still happening. This is not a psychosis. This is not schizophrenia. This is none of those things. They are preventing me, and they're working, correlating in teams. This is a persecution against, because they're gay and transgender and I'm straight. But like I said, it doesn't even feel like a legitimate class, and I'm being very honest. And I really don't know what to think of it, how any of this could be perfectly legal in any kind of way to torture a person, and the police department not only not wanting to get involved or do anything, but many people, most of them, all know about the electronic devices that are beating the hell out of me. Like, I should be able to get out of bed comfortably. I should be able to go to school just like any normal person, and it's very prejudiced. When you are in an environment where people are just transgender, gay, let's attack the straight, that is prejudice. That's like, oh, you can't be here because you're black. You can't be here because you're Mexican. You can't be here because you're Chinese. It's prejudiced. It's 100%. So they're bringing up, like I said, they're bringing up topics about my mother, and it's very uncomfortable and unsettling. I had to call my mother like sometime last week, because it made me think that, is someone saying something about my mother being abused at some point? Because many years ago, my mother got slapped by one of these transgenders, and they attacked her and threw her to the ground. And so they'll make a mockery of that in that class. So I called my mother like last week. I said, Mom, or my mom's twin, because they don't let me talk to my mother. I said, did anyone ever touch you or hit you or throw you to the ground at any given time? So the psychologists are working directly with my mother, and I'm sure there's a larger picture about what's going on, to make sure that these people don't also traumatic my mother. But my mother's going through a lot of shit, and it has nothing to do with me. They're trying to make me the enemy so that they look like heroes, and they're the one protecting my mother. They're not protecting my mother for shit. They are after every penny and every bit of control over what's happened, because my father's deceased. There's $175,000 that ended up sort of just disappearing. The house got sold, supposedly. My dad had $50,000 sitting in a bank account, and they're in a tug of war to who's going to be able to get this money, claim it, and overthrow my mother. And since all my siblings and all my brothers, the twins and all them, since they're homosexuals and gays, they're getting them to then persecute against me like a whole homosexual movement against me. So, like I said, I need to say this because whoever is watching these videos about what's going on, I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and they're just to make it everything sabotaging, everything difficult, everything hard, everything not wanting to go to school and better myself. That's probably one of the most discriminating things that you can do, to my understanding, is go to a public college and not being allowed to be there and learn in any sort of comfort like any student, and then play this prejudice game against me. So I'm making this video because I am attending this class for my mother and my immediate family, and they don't like that because it'll put me in a position of a little bit more understanding and leverage, and they want to be able to say, well, you're just too stupid to understand. We take control of everything. We'll give the power to who we want. We know what's best. They don't know who my father is, and they don't know any of the story. They're just wanting to steal and take anything that is remaining in the functions of my mother. This is a lot of money. I know if you go and rob a bank for $100,000, you'll spend, 20, 30 years in a penitentiary. And now these people are trying to use hired professional psychologists that I know that are on site and informing these people to do certain procedures to take this and steal it. And this is literally throwing like my father in a casket. We're going to take whatever we want. We can steal whatever we want. Nobody can stop us. I'm going to keep playing these mental crazy games with you. So if anybody out there understands about what's going on, this is very discarding. It's very discarding because we're in a class that's supposed to be certified nursing assistant. We're going to be taking care of people on a job site. We're supposed to give empathy to people, kindness and respect and privacy and all these things that we're supposed to take care of people that are sick, people that are injured and whatnot. And here we are in this class, and it's just sort of this tug of war of sort of what seems to be sort of homicidal, like sort of in this environment, sort of tickling that mentality, and it's very dangerous. I don't believe some of these people should be in the medical field, but it's just like police officers. You're going to find bad ones in everywhere you go, but hopefully this kind of gives some information about what's going on, and I hope that I'm still able to complete this class, because I still got another class I'm going to be taking. I don't know if I'll work on a job site, get hired, work a couple weeks, or go on a job site. Probably likely to take another class, a different class, just so that I can better my job opportunities. So if a place isn't hiring, at least I can go to the hospital, work as a patient care tech. Just give me more range. So anyone out there, please understand that this is a full homosexual war against me. I mean, they're sending people in the library, all kinds of shit repeatedly, and it's just to make it as dysfunctional. And why they're shooting electronic devices, it's a pretty wide range of electronic devices that they're using. One of them, they can throw something on the ground and you'll feel the electric shock shoot into my physical body, like it shudders, like taser me. It's like a taser, like when you're electrocuting somebody or a police officer electrocutes someone. And much of the time I'm always feeling like I have to surrender any information that is going to then benefit them to then persecute and harm me even more because of the threats of the electronic, how violent they are. Like, you can feel the electrical violent. It is not a good feeling. It's a taser. It tasers your entire physical body, and then they'll shoot something to pester me, which it's a simple frequency like laser that shoots into the physical body and just makes you twitch. And then they'll shoot my bicep, or they'll shoot my lips, or they'll shoot my chin, or they'll shoot underneath my eye. And they sort of play these very sick sort of games with what's going on. Now, they know, the people in the classroom, they know about, to my understanding, Patricia Cadena is no longer alive. It could be, but I don't believe so because of this sex change this individual had. Now, this is a circus party of what they're doing about this death, to make it about their homosexual and or transgender movement against me, that they can rape whoever they want. If they can get away with it. This is an enjoyment for them. They're just being themselves, and you can rape whoever you want, and we're going to justify it with all these sort of crazy psychotic words. So hopefully this is going to address some of these things that are going on in the class and what's going on. I'll be heading over here in about 10, probably 15 minutes, go to the library and start studying, finishing the book. And after this test, I believe there's, I don't know, I think one more test. I think it's a total of 3 to 4 tests, and the last one is the final exam. So I don't know where they're gonna have the clinicals, but that's too far to think, because I still got 2 weeks of class left. So I'm praying to God that I'm allowed to go to school, that I'm allowed to learn. And I should not feel unwelcome and trained that I have to choose a career they tell me to, that is going to be out of the medical field in any way. And that's exactly what's going on.